This just in, Teespring have messed up again, big time. Teespring, back in 2014, was a pretty awesome company. I was making a ton of money with them. They had great products, great prices, great customer service, and they really cared about the sellers and the customers. As the years went by, the disregard for their sellers and their customers was becoming increasingly obvious. And quite frankly, it surprised me that so many people continued to use them. They started out as a simple company where you would create a design and send traffic to that sales page. They then added in a marketplace, albeit a bit of a rubbish marketplace that didn't get much traffic. They made certain conditions if you wanted to be eligible to sell on their marketplace, conditions that were kept top secret. No one really knew how to get onto the marketplace, and as well as that, you had to build up this elusive trust score, and no one really understood what the trust score meant. After realizing their pitfalls, they thought, rather than fix the situation, let's just rebrand and forget it ever happened. And that's when Spring was born, or I should say spri.ng. Spring was basically Teespring, but with a new logo, a couple extra features, and then they also removed a couple of features. So yeah, great move, Teespring. It looked like they were just aiming for creators and influencers to use their platform. It didn't seem like they cared about anyone else. And this is when things started to kind of go from bad to worse. The marketplace disappeared, even though if you asked support, hey, what's happened to the marketplace? They would respond, it's still there, don't worry. I mean, it clearly wasn't there. And slowly but surely, the support that they were so good at originally also started to disappear, and it just became really, really terrible. It sounded robotic. It sounded like no one knew what they were talking about, and everyone was just making things up. We always got what we wanted to hear, even if it wasn't factual. So that was kind of annoying. And as well as that, the lack of clarity as to what was going on within the company and the platform as a whole, it was just getting ridiculous. Product prices went up and they added new products that seemed irrelevant. And as well as that, they started adding a whole bunch of add-ons that you could buy. In fact, they pulled a pretty disgusting tactic, in my opinion. They created this add-on that would cost you $5, and for $5, they would do marketing and get traffic to your sales page. It sounded amazing. For $5, we can get an influx of traffic. And on the page, that like their sales page, it said you will get an influx of traffic, but they don't guarantee sales. And that's fair. You can never guarantee sales, but you can guarantee getting clicks because that's what you're paying for. So I tested this out in a previous YouTube video. I paid the $5 and lo and behold, nothing happened. I believe it was a bit of a scam. No traffic, no sales. I don't mind so much about the sales, but no traffic, no traction at all for that matter. And in my mind, it just felt like Teespring were on the hunt to raise some capital.
I gotta do it, man.
So they created these bogus add-ons that didn't actually mean anything. So that was all in the past. What have they done now? Well, we all know if you want to use Spring, you'll create a website and you'll add products to that website and then send traffic to your website. Teespring housed this website. You're able to build the whole thing out within Spring. Now, previously, you would have 3 options when it came to your domain name. Number 1, you could buy a domain through Spring and pay an absolute premium for it. Number 2 is you could connect your own domain, so something you've bought on GoDaddy or Google or 123reg or anywhere, and connect it back to Teespring or Spring. And number 3, you could just stick with the domain they give you, which is that really long, unprofessional and ugly looking domain name. Obviously, option 3 was never going to work. No one sticks with option 3. Who wants that ugly domain name? In fact, they say on their website themselves that you have a 400% increased chance of getting sales with a professional looking domain name. So for most, it would lead us to option 2, connecting a domain name that we bought somewhere else. And that's just because it was far cheaper than using Teespring or Spring's, own domain name service. However, now all of a sudden, option 2, connecting a domain name, is no longer free. You can pay $11.99 every single year to connect your own domain. No, not even a one-off payment. A payment every single year. And just to put that into perspective, when you buy a domain on GoDaddy, that's about how much it's going to cost every year for the domain. But on top of that, you now have to spend a further $11.99 a year to connect that domain name. Now, I know $11.99 is not a lot of money, and that's probably why they picked that amount and why they made it yearly. But it is still a massive slap in the face for anyone starting print on demand and wanting to use Teespring, or wanting to use Spring. I keep getting mixed up with their names. Wanting to use Spring because originally you'd go there because it's the free platform. You'd create designs, you'd add designs, you'd send stuff over, but now it's not free. I have never heard of any website ever doing this. Zyro, Wix, Squarespace, Shopify, you can always connect a domain for free. It's just such a basic feature, and quite frankly, I can't actually imagine how their board meeting must have gone to decide on this change. Maybe it went something like this. Okay guys, we need a little bit more money, so how can we do this where it doesn't raise too many eyebrows? That's a tough one. We've done quite a lot already. What about if we charge them every single time that they have someone visit their sales page? Not necessarily get a sale, just visit their sales page. What do we think about that? Nah. That would be far too obvious. We need to be a bit more subtle. Yeah. Oh, I have it. And this is a good one. This is a good one. How about we charge them for having their own custom domain name? I mean, yeah, we already do that. No, I'm not saying that. I know we charge for that quite a lot. No, I'm not saying that. Why don't we charge them to connect their own already paid for domain name that they've paid for on another platform if they want to kind of like port it over to Spring? We should charge them for that, and not just charge them, we should charge them a yearly fee for that. Ooh, that is smart. Like, really? I mean, if that's how it went, do they need money this desperately that they would need to charge for such a basic feature? Honestly, I don't actually understand why anyone still uses them. The only benefit I can think of is that you're able to use Spring and connect it to YouTube to have like a shop, a shelf where people can buy directly below the video. However, Spreadshop also do this now, so I don't understand why anyone is using Spring. And as well as that, for any creators and any influencers, surely it makes more sense to connect your own website, especially if you're now paying more money, but surely it makes more sense to connect your own website and make far more profit than sell items through Spring where their base prices have gone up and you can't actually make that much profit anymore. I personally don't know how many years they have left, but I do wonder what they're going to do next, because at this point I just think it's quite entertaining. Who knows, maybe they will actually start charging you every single time a visitor lands on your website. In the meantime, if you want to actually connect with a decent print-on-demand partner, a printing partner, then check this video out here, because they are just so much better than Spring, and it's not even a competition anymore.